Does everybody here drive? Okay, we know how to. Okay, so imagine you're driving on the Parkway, the Turnpike, or 287, and you're going how many miles over? How many of you drive the speed limit? Raise your hand. Okay, got it, good. All right, so, we're gonna be like authentic. I'm like, some people are like, me. It's like that's why you're always late. Okay, so you go 80 in a how? What's the average speed limit where you're going 80?
80 on 80.
80 on 80. There's somewhere where you see a speed limit says 80 miles per hour?
No.
Oh, okay, just checking. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to confuse her. Drop a match. Is that gonna like that? She's like, that's the. Okay, that is. It's fine. It's all good. So, hey, you work with kids, I understand. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of morning. Alright, so imagine you're driving on the Parkway 287, Turnpike, whatever it is, 295, you go to South Jersey. I don't know why you go to South Jersey, but whatever, it's fine. Don't Google lights, it's kind of scary now. Okay, and imagine when you're going and you're driving in the left lane, okay? And when you're going in the left lane, that's the lane that you're supposed to only stay in if you're going to what? Pass. Okay, good. So now, if you're in the left lane and you're about to pass, and then all of a sudden as you're getting closer, you see somebody in that lane. Now, we have 3 lanes in the highway, at least, or the Parkway is awesome. There's like 17 lanes, even the ones you don't know about. So, imagine you're driving, and all of a sudden, as you're driving, there's somebody in the left lane, and you want them to move over. Now, in New Jersey, I don't know how it is for other states as much. I'm pretty versed in the laws of the police because I like to get out of tickets. So when you pass on the right, is that allowed or is that illegal? Did you know that? Some people are like, really do it all the time. So if you pass a car on the right-hand side, it's illegal. You're only allowed to pass on the left, technically by the law. And you know when you're driving. Of course, there's not going to be police officers, and then all of a sudden, the second you do one thing wrong, the lights turn on. So special effects are included in the workshop, by the way, so sound effects. So by law, to get that person to move over into the middle lane, what are you allowed to do? What kind of signal are you allowed to give them so that they know that you want them to move over?
Flash your light.
Okay, your lights. Okay, I want to be clear. Okay, fine. Okay, so the other one's when you get pulled over. So when you flash your lights, your high beams, okay, boop boop like that. This is what you see. You see the person in the left lane. Okay. You see them look in the rear view mirror. You see them look straight ahead and nothing changes. So just like your little kids, they acknowledge you when you want them to do something, and then they blow you off and ignore you. Okay, got it, awesome, because those babies are great. Okay, so now, what else do you do? What's that? This is where you guys answer back. Just check. What's that?
You beep your horn. I noticed it when you beep, it's always twice. It's always for M.F. or A.H. or it's always 2. And that's
M.F.? Is that a symbol for something?
I don't know. Whatever you want. It's the alphabet.
All right. So she honks the horn. That's something. Okay. So some of you would. How many of you would honk the horn like this? Or maybe some of you do like CPR honking.
If you do that, you see the brake lights go on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get there. She's jumping. Easy. Drink your drink. Okay. I'm coming to a workshop. All right, so all of a sudden, so then you then honk your horn. What else do you guys do? Nothing. Okay, some people do nothing. Some people are like, nothing. I got somewhere to. What's that? Anybody? Well, if you pass, you get pulled over. So in this scenario, right? Because the whole entire point is to get this person. If all of a sudden the person in front of you, if they started to accelerate and they were going faster, then it would still get the job. And that's what you really want them to do. You really want them to move faster. Okay, so some people either flash the brights, some people honk the horn. So anybody ever do this tailgating thing?
Oh, yeah.
Now, does everybody here know what a brake check is? It's not when you go to it's when you tap. Now, you got to be clear on this because some people don't understand it. It's not when you slam your brakes on as high as possible so you get into an accident. It's when you tap your brake and then hit your accelerator so the person in front of you thinks that you're slowing down. Oh, someone's like, oh. Now, just because you're going to try that doesn't mean I'm responsible for that statement, okay? Just like your parents, when they think like they're, you're responsible for when their kids come home and go, ah! But when they walk in, oh yeah, I'm at school. How you doing? Good morning, Miss Susie. Okay, so now, our instinct is to flash our brights, okay, honk our horn, and we tailgate just a little bit. And then we want them to move over, or we want them to accelerate. But if someone was behind you and you're just not having a good day, your coffee wasn't made the right way, or blah blah this or that, or you remember somebody you left your house at home, you left your home in the morning, and somebody said something to you, and that kind of got underneath your skin or whatever it is. Then you see somebody behind you, and they honk their horn, they flash their brights, and they tailgate you. What do? What's that?
Pray for them.
What did you say? What did you say? Pray for them. That's very nice. Okay. You'll actually move out of their way. Okay. How many of you? Somebody said slow down. How many of you like tap your brakes or decelerate? How many of you would move over, as opposed to how many of you would actually now do something because this person is up your butt and they're bothering you in this thing? So then you slow down.
Then I would let them know how unhappy I am.
You let them know how unhappy you were. Would you give them a thumbs up with a different finger? Okay, there you go. I love Jersey. All right. So, our instinct is to respond a certain way, because we're looking at changing behaviors. We're looking at becoming powerful, and we're looking at getting the person in front of us to move over. So our instinct is to do X, Y, and Z, to get them to behave a certain way. But if somebody did X, Y, and Z to us, we would in fact, most of the time, respond the opposite way than the typical person. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, like for example, like how many of you have ever had this situation when a child starts their fake crying, and then all of a sudden they build up into the real crying, and you're in their face like, relax, take a breath, it's okay, breathe in, there's a tour coming, relax, calm down. Now imagine your significant other, you're upset about something, and your significant other goes to you, honey, relax, take a breath, you'll feel better. So we do one thing to get one behavior, we display certain responses to try to get a behavior to happen for another human being, but that behavior comes out to us, and if I tell you relax, no, that doesn't work. How about if I tell you take a breath, you'll feel better? But you will. I mean, you will. Take a breath. I have, for everybody, we do something called yogarati, it's yoga and martial arts together. My most important thing is breathing and drinking water. Water. Okay, so I always have, I have bracelets for everybody. I always have, and by the way, there's a magical secret to the bracelet. For those of you asking what's the secret, obviously you don't know what secrets are, how they work, but that's okay. So this is all about breathing. So, if you actually take a breath and have a conversation with somebody, you oxygenate your brain and you actually make better decisions. But when somebody else tells you to take a breath, you in fact want to do the opposite. So now, imagine if I'm driving behind you, okay? I flash my brights, I honk my horn, and I started tailgating a little bit, and then all of a sudden you either slowed down or maintained your same speed. Then all of a sudden what you see me do is you see me go over into the middle lane, and now I start to gut it. Now what do?
Speed up.